Alright, today I'm going to be talking about the sign of Cancer, which is the sign of motherhood. It is empathy. Cancer is empathy, it's motherhood, it's instinct, it's emotions, it's your home, it's your comfort zone, it's safety, it's security. This is what Cancer is. Maternal instinct, motherly instinct, all that stuff. And if you've watched my video about the astrology of the human anatomy, you will see what I described Cancer to be, right? So Cancer is instinct. Cancer, this sign here, as calm as people think it is, it's not always a very friendly sign. It's not a sign to play around with. You know why I said that? Because in the third place of Cancer is Virgo. The third place of Cancer is Virgo. These people are analytical thinkers. You understand what I'm saying? These people are analytical thinkers. You understand? Don't look at a Cancer and think that because they are overly emotional. Yes, this is a sign of emotionality. Don't think because they are overly emotional that you can, step on their feet, because they are very capable of holding resentment. I guarantee you. If you even consider Cancer as a sign of motherhood, and when we say that the mother is a natural protector of the child, Cancer has Scorpio in the 5th place, which is a natural tendency of a thing. I've talked about this a lot of times. And the 5th place is the place of children. You know what Scorpio is? Scorpio is death, murder, assassination, killing. You understand what I'm saying? The motherly instinct, you understand, where it is strongest the most is when it comes to the children. When it comes to a woman's child, she can commit any of these acts of crime. It is by nature, it is by design. When the sign of death is in the 5th place of children, yes, a woman, which Cancer is the sign of women, a woman will take your life to protect her child. Yes. You understand? Because when you consider that what Cancer has in the 4th place, which is Libra, which is the sign of justice and fairness, yes. When it comes to motherhood, Cancer is very fair. You know how very emotional, when you talk of emotional intelligence, mothers have emotional intelligence. So I'm describing these things too. I'm also teaching you how Cancer people tend to behave, male and female. But we are looking at a lot of things here. Cancer in the 1st place, a sign of emotion. This is their natural inclination to things. They have a very strong instinct. You understand? Instinct, psychic ability, intuition, they are not the same. They all belong to different signs. Cancer is a sign of instinct and empathy, the ability to feel other people's emotion. You understand? The ability to feel other people's emotion is what Cancer is. Now, when you talk about Cancer, what is a Cancer's love language? When you talk about Cancer in so many things I point to now, we're dealing with the psychology of the people born under the sign of Cancer. What is their love language when it comes to security? These people have Capricorn in the 7th house. The 7th house is always the sign that opposes the sun at the ascendant. It is always like that for all signs. Cancer and Capricorn opposes each other. When I was doing Capricorn, if you watch my Capricorn video, you understand. When I did the Capricorn sign, you notice that Cancer was at the 7th place. So these signs, they oppose each other. You understand? And the 7th place points to a person's love language and what a person needs to feel committed in a relationship or to feel like a relationship is working. For Cancer, I mean, what would you imagine that the sign that points to emotion would actually need when it comes to relationship? Like when a person is overly emotional, what do you think that first desire they'll need to feel like okay, they can be in the relationship? Security. That's what Capricorn is. Maturity, security. They need to know that they can trust you to handle their emotional upheavals. I don't know if you understand me. These people are very, 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 very emotional. These people cry a lot. Cancer is a sign of tears. Not all Cancer people. But growing up, most cancer babies, in fact, cancers as babies, as children, are people that cry a lot. Yes, I guarantee you. If you ask a mom which of her children cried most when they were young, you'll find that that person had a very strong Cancer placement, or that person is a Cancer, sun or rising. It does not necessarily mean the person must be a sun sign, because everybody's always looking for which date were you born. Your sun, your rising sign describes you a whole lot. A whole lot. I don't think you people really understand. This is why I read from the ascendant. Yes, it's going to describe the sun signs too. You understand what I'm saying? People have done me, that thing you said about this, it describes me, but I wasn't reading the sun, I was reading about the sun and the rising follows the same order, because if you take the sign that your sun is in and put it in the ascendant and run the reading like that, you're going to see what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? So Cancer people need security and maturity. This is what Capricorn is. Stability. So they mostly look up to people that are mature, people that are more masculine, people that are more calm, collected, unbothered, people that they can look up to ground them whenever they begin to throw tantrums. Is the love language, is maturity, is stability, security. For someone whose emotion is always, the moon rules Cancer, so they are basically the same thing. I know how the phases of the moon go. When they tell that women have mood swings, that is a sign. Moon rules Cancer, which is a sign of women. The moon is women. That's why it is said to be a goddess. The moon is feminine. I don't know if you guys understand. Yes, in astrology, the moon is said to be feminine. So those phases of the moon, that is how a woman's emotions changes. Just mood swings, just goes like that. You understand? It just changes from this minute she's feeling this way. Now, what then do you think she knows she is that emotional? You think she will need someone else who is that emotional? No. She needs someone who is mature. Someone who is very, very calm, collected, and well put together. That is Capricorn. You understand? Someone that she can count on. If she begins to overreact, the person can, stabilize her. That is what Saturn is. Saturn is sign of stability. You understand? So this is what Cancers need when it comes to relationship. And I was talking about the third place. Cancers have Virgo in the third place. These people are very analytical thinker. Yes, emotional, but they are very discerning. I mean, what would you think the sign of empathy is when it comes to how to use their mind? That is discernment. In some astrology school of thought, Cancer is even said to be the sign of discernment. I mean, what does emotion answer? Because when emotion is involved in the thing, you just suddenly think that discernment is out of the equation. But the emotion we are talking here is feel. When you feel that a thing is not true, this is what Cancer is. You understand me? In the third mind, in their mentality, they are very analytical. And this is usually the problem sometimes when it comes to the family settings, because they've actually analyzed everybody, which is what Virgo is. Virgo is a sign of analysis, to analyze things, details. You understand me? They've actually analyzed everybody around them, from their friends to their families, everybody. They know everybody. So this is often an issue, because in the family settings, Cancer people consider their family members to be their equals. They don't think anybody is older than them. Not that they actually act it out in a form where they disrespect people. No, they don't do this. Not like they are doing it to disrespect people. It's not necessarily why they are doing that. It's because they've actually assessed your level of intellect, or how you process your thoughts, how you think, talk, and act. And in their mind, you are not older than them. In their mind, you are not older than them. So in the family, they treat everybody as equal. You understand? This is where issues usually, because Libra is also the sign of contention. So yes, this plays out like that in the family. When you find Cancer, people Cancer sun or rising have issues with family members. They have contentions with family members because the friction is always there when it comes to treating everybody equal. There's always one person who wants to be treated as according to their age, but not a cancer won't treat you like that, especially if they've assessed you, they analyze you, they've observed you, they listen to the way you talk, they've analyzed how you behave, and they say that you just all you have is just age. Your maturity is missing. Your maturity is missing, right? When it comes to the family, any family member at all, mom, dad, parent, sibling, family member, everybody is equal to a cancer. That is just what it is. And when we talk about how these people spend money, these people love their belongings. Trust me, I know a few cancer people to know how true these things is. Cancer people are those people who, if they buy something, these are some of the people that spend money to look flashy. You understand what I'm saying? These are some of the people that spend money to look flashy. You understand? So, but these people love their belongings. These people love their possessions. They love the things that they own. A cancer finds it difficult to part with the thing they bought with their money. I know a cancer friend of mine, cancer rising friend of mine. This dude was hungry to death. He refused to sell his property. That's when I understood how that stuff works. When you see that emotional attack, when you buy something, you take pride. This is why I often tell people, when you consider the sign of Leo being love, is a love that comes with attachment, ego, pride. You take pride in the thing that you like. Not like the Venusian or Venus, whether that's what I mean by Venusian kind of love that is sensational, or is a sensual kind of love that can fade based on circumstances. Leo does not fade based on circumstances. It is pure love. It is loyalty. It is pride. Take pride in the things that you love. It's where your heart is. It is the heart. You understand what I mean? Cancer people love their possession. They are not selling their possession. They will either go and look for something to do and get money and use that money to solve that issue that is pressing on them than to sell a property to meet up that. These people love their... I don't think... These people love their property. I guarantee you. And also what this Leo here also means. Leo is the sign of autonomy. So when it comes to income, because second house is income, money, finance, income. Anything you want to talk about money is the second house. Any spending, income, anything you want to say about money, it is the second house. Any way you want to call money, bank, the second house. How a person acts when they walk into the bank, the second house. There are people that experience anxiety when they walk into the bank. Pisces. You understand me? I know a Pisces person that tells me that she doesn't like going to the bank. Like she's very nervous when she steps into the bank. I didn't know astrology then, but in astrology, I'm like, Pisces has, everything in the second house. That's anxiety. The second house is the banks. That is how you act when you're in the bank. But not necessarily the sign that is there, because the sign that is there may not necessarily completely describe you. That is one thing people need to also know. The ruler of that sign might be in a place that does not point to anxiety, and you're going to deal with that energy very well. But if you're observant enough, you will notice traces of it. You understand me? Yes. So if you're someone that has, put yourself through conditions, because Pisces is a sign of fear. Pisces is a sign of fear. So having anxiety in the banking hall is something that Pisces will experience. Not all, but those that have put themselves in situations whereby they have to, overcome their fears time and time again. Often transform that particular anxiety into boldness, which is what Aries still is. I can tell you, as a Pisces fan, I can tell you, I don't experience that kind of anxiety when I'm in the banking hall. I don't. Not that it's not there, but it's not up to that level where, that person made mention of it. So, these people, they love their money. You understand me? This is why having the sign of autonomy in the second place, these people, are often inclined to want to work on their own. Cancer is a sign of the home, working from home. Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, even having Aries here in the 10th place points to being self-employed. Most cancers want to be self-employed. They don't want to have to answer to a boss. They want to work from the comfort of their home. Cancer is a sign of comfort. It's a sign of home. You understand what I'm saying here? You see. So Scorpio, these people, Scorpio is sex. And why I say this is most cancers you will find are people that don't really need to watch X-rated movies or any of that stuff to actually perform very well in the other room. These people, they just know what to do. When it comes to beds, they just know what to do. Cancer people just know what to do. Trust me. They know. Ask cancer, any cancer person. They know. Let me not exaggerate more than that, right? So, in the sixth place, they have Sagittarius in the sixth place of work. You know, when you think of multitasking, when your mom is at home, because as you know, cancer is the son of the mother. When your mom is working, you will notice that she can be cooking, washing clothes. That food won't get burnt, and she will cook it to the best, to come out with the best taste. She's going to wash her clothes. She's going to be clean. She's going to fetch water. She's going to clean. She's doing all these things at the same time. Cancer has a sign of multiplicity, doing things, doing many things at the same time in the place of work. You understand what I'm saying? In the place of work. And most cancer people you will see, when you talk about Japa culture, most cancer people are people that are mostly thinking of relocating to another place to get a well-paying job. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, to get a well-paying job. These people are more inclined to want to travel, relocate to a new home. You understand? To get a well-paying job, to relocate to a new country, to relocate to a new city, to get a well-paying job. But when it comes to work, these people are able to multitask. And if you consider that they also have Virgo in the third place, what does a multitasker need to be efficient in multitasking? It is analytical thinking. This is what Virgo is. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. That attention to detail. This is what Cancer has the sign of, this is multitasking in the place of work. These people are able to multitask a lot. And in the eighth place here where they have Aquarius, right? Aquarius is the sign of intuition. See, the eighth place here does not just point about sexuality, but if you're talking about sexuality, Aquarius being the sign of weirdness, Cancer people are very weird when it comes to the bedroom. Very, very weird people. These people have weird fantasies when it comes to the bedroom, like wanting to explore those weird fantasies, but if only they have a deeper connection with you, because don't forget they have the sign of sex in the fifth house. So there has to be love, there has to be a connection and attachment for that kind of sex, for a Cancer to bring out that sexual part of themselves. Having the sign of weirdness in the place of sex is something that you see very well with the Cancer people. But if you look at the eighth house also, it talks about power, more like hidden powers that you have in your genetics, the powers that you have in your genetics. This is not something I talk about a lot, but astrology goes deeper than just psychology of people. Like now I'm talking about genetics now. Cancer has the sign of upgrade. You understand? An improvement, an enhancement in this eighth house of genetics. So the mom is the very vessel by creation. The mother is the very vessel that passes on the genetic upgrade to the offspring. I don't know if that makes sense, because the eighth place is pregnancy. It's the womb anatomically. I think I explained it in my astrology of human anatomy. Yes, all of the reproductive organ. The womb is Scorpio, which is the ruler of the eighth house. So the eighth house is the womb. And this sign here of upgrade, that is upgrading, passing knowledge. You understand? By means of reproduction, comes through the mom. See, when they say you educate a woman, you educate this is usually one of the things they say. It's usually not as literal as we think it is. These are some of the things that make them make those statements. You understand what I'm saying? Because knowledge is being passed down through the womb of the female. This is what the sign of Cancer is exposing to us. It is the woman that is the very vessel for passing down knowledge to the offspring. If the woman is dull, even the man is that intelligent, there's still going to be a friction in that energy of the man being passed across to the offspring. The woman needs to be capable enough. This is why when souls want to come down, it's not really necessarily the man. You guys see these things in the Bible too. You see, they have to choose a virgin to bring down such soul. I don't think you guys understand. It is the woman that is the very vessel that will determine the quality of the child, the soul that she will bring down to this earth. This is why women need to wake up more, because it is with them that ignorance dies. But we are not having these conversations. Let me end that. Pisces is in the ninth house of Cancer. You understand? Pisces is in the ninth house of Cancer. Pisces is the sign of escapism. You understand? When it comes to, adventure and all of those things, people mostly view adventure as, a thing to just, an opportunity to just go out and be alone and be in solitude. This is what Cancer is. Pisces is. Pisces is a sign of solitude. And this people have it in place of travel, education, exploration, adventure. You understand what I'm saying? Most of these people, truly, in the place of academics, they are mostly inclined to read medical professions. You understand? And like in the place of career, they go into surgical professions. Now, look at this now. Cancer is a sign of midwives. Okay, you understand what I'm saying now? Cancer is a sign of midwives. Now, what would that play out in the ninth place, or being, overindulgence in things, getting involved in things, and, that is a sign of medicine, which is Pisces. Pisces is the medical sector. You understand? This is one place where midwives, go overboard with stuff, administering medical care. You understand what I'm saying? So that's Cancer is a sign of care, nurturing. So administering medical care is what these people do. Also, surgery too. Having the sign of surgery in the 10th place. Even Scorpio and my Aries are both signs of surgery. They are both ruled by Mars. You understand? So if you look at this, I said the 10th place is the highest potential of it. So if you consider that the mom, Cancer being the sign of emotion, has the sign of violence in the 10th place and the 5th place, these are two very core places. To have two signs that point to violence. The mom is the natural protector of the child. Do we still need to argue this? The mom is the natural protector of the child. As the highest potential of a Cancer. Cancer people are quite competitive in career-wise. Career-wise, they are very competitive. This is what Aries here, the 10th house is pointing to. Very, very competitive. When it comes to career, I want to outdo that person. I want to do better than that person. I want to do better than that person. I'm quite very competitive when it comes to career. I'm going to do better than this guy. They just, quietly, they just they have those things in mind. You understand me? They have those things in mind. You see, so very competitive. You won't know whether in academics, but this is mainly career, because in academics, these people are usually on slow mode, and some of them actually develop the habit of getting high and all of that stuff from school. They copied most of those habits in school. Yes, some of them didn't completely learn it from home. Most of them learned to get high in school. There is another indication to know about Cancer. I know a couple of Cancer. That's why I can read this. This is why I can read this for you like this. So the chart is going to describe you. I've never talked about the planets. I'm just reading the chart here. So yes, being very competitive when it comes to career also is what Cancer, also points to. So in the 11th place here, so they have Taurus. Taurus is your principles, your values, your morals. Having it in the place of friendship, a Cancer cannot be your friend. If you live by a very shitty principle, very shitty morals, your morals is questionable. A Cancer don't want to be your friend. A Cancer don't want to be your friend. Another thing that makes Cancer, make friends with people very well. If you know how to cook, a Cancer is likely going to be. I guarantee you, there's no Cancer that does not have a friend that knows how to cook. That is. Ask them, they will tell you. Every Cancer knows someone that knows how to cook, that is their friend. That they always look up to, that they are this person, and this person needs to cook. Every time I visit this person will cook. If this person was here now, this person will cook. It's not like they can't cook, because Cancer is the sign of the kitchen, it's cooking, it's chefing, it's restaurant, it's eateries, all that stuff. Cancer is the sign of chefs. You understand what I'm saying now? So, but when it comes to friendship, values, morals is their criteria, but also when, people that cook, people that love food to like them. It's something too that Cancer people love so much. So in the 12th place here, emotion, is an internal thing. Having the sign of communication in the 12th place. The 12th place talks about the things that you lack. You understand what I'm saying? So, lacking that verbal expression is something you will find with a lot of Cancer people. You have to get a Cancer to snap really, really far. Their threshold to have an emotional outburst is very far. Other signs can reach there 1, 2, 3 trials, but a Cancer you have to push them very far to get to that point. Most Cancers, you put them, because having the sign of communication in the 12th place means these people don't necessarily like to express their opinions. They don't always like to express their opinions because they fear, the 12th house is fear. They fear that they might hurt someone by the things that they say, because they are not stupid. If they say something is going to cut deep, you know why? They've analyzed you, they know whether you're an idiot or not. they know. So if they will say whatever they want to say, it's going to come out very blunt. It's going to come out very blunt. I guarantee you, it's going to come out very blunt. So, so it's going to come out very blunt. So, and cold. You know, it's going to come out very blunt and cold. So yes, and I'm talking about cold. Aquarius is a sign of cold. Even Capricorn too, but Aquarius in the 8th house. You know, Cancer people love to keep friends that, you know, brings them a bit of depth, not just a bit. That, you know, have this aura of depth around them. People that are deep. You understand what I'm saying? People that have depth to them. Cancer people mostly keep this far from the house. This Aquarius in the 8th place is a strong indication of that. If you're a shallow person, Cancer people don't really like to keep shallow friends. People that just like to have mundane conversation. I'm saying this thing because what is the mentality of a Cancer is what we are talking about. It's Virgo. Virgo is not shallowness. Virgo is analytical thinking. You understand? This is almost on par with calculative thinking. This is regiment. Virgo is regiment. It is attention to detail. It is meticulousness. It is. Does that not sound like calculative thinking? If you put all this in together, considering the thought process of a person, analysis, attention to detail. Regiment is what Virgo is. Order, list. Not necessarily order, but like, you know, things following a detailed pattern. Regiment. You understand what I'm saying? Having this as a mentality of a particular person or team. These people are not shallow. Yes, they have emotion, but they are not shallow. Like I said, it's discernment. Virgo is the sign of discernment. And these people have it in the 3rd place of the mentality. That also makes Cancer the sign of discernment. Empathy, feel. When you can feel another person's emotion and know whether they are lying or not. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Is that not discernment? You understand? And if you talk about dealing with other people, they have the sign of calculative thinking in the 7th place. So yes, Cancers are not stupid. Because they are in an emotional sign does not mean they are stupid. You understand? So this is the sign of Cancer. And this is the last video for this series. Right? So I've rounded up this series with the sign of Cancer. So if anything you have, questions, you need readings, contact me. My contact details is always in the description. You understand? Questions, ask me in the comments. I will respond. Don't ask me to read your chart. Don't ask me to read your chart. You have to DM me for that. Don't ask me in the comment section to read your chart. Yes, you can ask me about some placements in the chart, but I can't necessarily give a one-size-fits-all answer. There's never a one-size-fits-all answer. In astrology, there's never a one-size-fits-all answer. You can tell me, oh, I have Mercury in this sign. A lot of people have Mercury in that sign. I can't specifically, I have to know which house that is in your chart. If I know which house, then I will now know where Virgo and Gemini is. I will not be able to read that placement for you. You understand what I'm saying? So I just can't run off and just, so if you want to ask me questions, there are certain questions that you can ask me. But if you want reading, you have to DM me. I have different prices for my reading. You know, I think I'm going to work on a website soon, so I can, you know, attach the link so people can go there and browse through my um, reading plans before they can actually DM me, so that they've already made up their mind. You understand? Before they actually DM me to say they want a reading. You get so so this is the sign of Cancer. So I mean, this is the sign I'm ending with this episode with. So I actually wanted to start with Cancer, but some things came up. So the sun moved into Leo. I was like, since the sun is in Leo, let me start with Leo, and I started going off like that. So yes, I'm finishing off with Cancer. Peace.